What's going on, guys? So I've talked about her before, and guess what? She finally came back out. It was Haley Welch. Haley Welch, if you don't know, is the Hawk Tuah girl. If you don't really know, well, here's the clip of her doing her famous phrase.
Makes a man go crazy every time.
Oh, you gotta give him that Hawk Tuah and spit on that thing. You get me?
So there we go. We're all caught up on the lore. But basically, what happened is she was involved in a meme coin, which was just the Hawk Tuah coin, or the Hawk coin, whatever you want to call it. And it was alleged she's involved with the rug pull. This entire podcast episode is just what I would say a PR stunt, just to clear her name, just to push some of the, some of the problems onto other people and not take any accountability for it. The only thing that I saw was even close to an apology in this video was when she was talking to FaZe Banks, which is also a part of this. She was talking to FaZe Banks about it and saying how she feels bad for everybody. And that essentially the money for this episode I'm talking about, all the proceeds are going to go to animals that were affected by the fire in California, which, while it's a good deed, that isn't what you're in trouble for in your first episode that's supposed to be clearing up all this, meme coin stuff, is to donate the money somewhere else. That's probably not a smart move, and I think your PR team may have failed you a little bit on that.
And I feel really bad for all the people that got affected by it, and it just didn't go the way I planned. And all the money out of this episode is getting donated to all the animals that have been affected by the fires up here.
And I'll match it. Me, Ricky, I'll match it, whatever.
So yeah, that's her basically just talking about the proceeds for animals, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. I know it's just like kind of twisting things around a little bit, but you really look into it when you're under investigation, essentially, or being fingers pointed at for scamming your audience and stealing money. I don't think the smart move is to go, all right, guess what? I'm still a good person, so I'm going to donate to animals in need. There's still a lot of people that have been screwed over by this, one way or another, whether you were involved directly or indirectly, which actually gets covered by her lawyer. Like I said, I think this is a PR stunt because her lawyer starts answering the questions in a very PR-y standard. Now, don't get me wrong, it was probably the smartest move to get your lawyer involved, but unfortunately, I myself don't think a lot of people are going to like the fact your lawyer is speaking for you. A lot of the times people want to hear your take from you, not your lawyer. They don't want the watered down, very pristine handwritten stuff. They want somebody to speak from their heart, essentially. And that's not what you're going to get in this podcast at all. She does not take really anything. FaZe Banks pretty much talks the entire time. The only time you hear Haley really talk is going to be when she's plugging her sponsor, which they even make a joke saying everybody abandoned them, but this is the only sponsor that stuck by them. Yeah, you're being accused of something really really messed up. You're being accused of stealing money. A lot of people are going to distance themselves from that, especially when all fingers are still pointing at you, and you literally dipped off in the weirdest way possible by saying, yeah, I'm ready to go to bed. I'm going to take a nap now. But yeah, to get back to some of the, I guess, PR coverage, essentially, is her lawyer talking about the money she got straight up, which is where this guy right here is going to be asking the really hard questions, which is how much she got paid, which a lot of people probably wanted to know anyway.
Natural.
Well, how much, did they offer you money up front? This is what I think the internet always wants to know.
The deal that she did was like a brand image likeness deal where they paid her $125,000 up front. They were supposed to pay her $200,000 after the launch of the coin within 30 days.
So basically we can all agree, yeah, she's the figurehead. She got paid out. So CoffeeZilla was right. He knew she got paid out from what he said was the lawyer, which was the lawyer. There's a lot of things that are still up for speculation at the moment, and I know a lot of people are still pointing fingers at her, and I myself am one of those people. You had a responsibility to at least investigate something you're going to put your face onto. She even addresses that Wiz Khalifa, of all people, said don't put your face onto something if you don't look into it, if you don't know anything about it, and she knew nothing of crypto. I'm not going to sit here and try to give anybody advice or sell crypto. I'm not going to do it because I don't know enough about it. And to be honest, it's not one of those fronts I'm probably going to learn a lot about because it's so volatile. You don't know when something's going to blow up, go down. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of things you don't know when things are going to work out. Same with if you were sponsored. But at least with sponsors, most of the time you're sponsoring something, hopefully a product you would use. And if you're sponsoring essentially a crypto coin, that's going to be a very vague area for a lot of people. And I would agree with probably FaZe Banks, unfortunately, in this, is that yeah, you need to, you got to vet your people. You got to probably fire your entire staff, because that's something that he does advocate for sure. After the whole release of this podcast apparently leaked podcast episode, which is that somebody's still in her corner that is just doing her wrong. She doesn't have control of a lot of her social media, which, yeah, I can see some people that are, celebrities, actual celebrities, not e-celebrities. A lot of celebrities or people that are worth millions of dollars and having revenue go everywhere and they got all these investors. Those people don't really deal with their own social media. Like I myself, I am a small creator. I don't have a huge platform. I don't have my X does not get used a lot. I would probably use it more, but I just don't have a lot of a lot of movement over there. So I just don't really use it. My YouTube, I've done certain times when I feel like I need to put a little community post out there for an update if I'm sick or something's going on. I use that. But, a lot of these more famous people, they have people, and everybody knows this. They have handlers, they have people that do all this. And whoever her handler is, whoever all the people is she's trusting, is clearly doing her more harm than good. And that's the biggest issue I think that she just does not address in this, which is my biggest problem with all of this, is there's not really an apology. She's not even really confirming she's going to pay people back, other than the fact that there's somebody squirming around telling her to put money back into the crypto sphere, which was really stupid. That idea makes no sense. The people are only going to get a couple bucks a piece. The biggest move that could possibly be made is either you're going to get sued and you're going to have to deal with it, or at least, I don't know, bare minimum, try to do some kind of damage control and pay people back. That's the only thing I can see happening to actually fix this without having a full lawsuit. I'm not saying it's going to protect her from a lawsuit. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a legal counsel. I can't do any of that for anyone. But I think the smartest move, probably for at least your image, is to pay these people back. As much as everybody's making fun of them, I myself think it's completely ludicrous for anybody to put their money into a crypto coin that is a meme coin. Don't get me wrong, I have money in crypto coin. I have a couple $100 out in my wallet that's just kind of for whatever. I put them on random stuff just to see what happens. I'm not investing my life hard-earned money into crypto like that. Like I said, I don't understand it enough, and it's very volatile, so I don't want to put all my money into that. I wouldn't remortgage my house or refinance something just to put money into a crypto coin. That would be very, very, very irresponsible. And I think that's where everybody's making fun of these people, was a crypto coin that is a meme coin based off of a meme that's a few years old, off of a one-off little word or phrase. And don't get me wrong, she's done some things that were smart, like getting actual product and stuff like that, and merch, whatever she was selling. That made sense and kind of got a little bit more financially viable. But the thing is, in the podcast, which everybody was clowning on, and I myself cannot stand that podcast myself, but she's gotten some decent profiled people on there, like Wiz Khalifa, Face Banks. It's going to be the other two people, which Face Banks isn't official yet because it hasn't officially been released. But everybody was saying it's deleted, and when I went to go look at it, it's hidden. So there's still a lot to take in about this. And I don't think it's over, being that this is just now starting to fire back up. I think we got a lot more that's going to be coming out. I don't know if I'm going to cover anything else about this because, to be honest, this is kind of cut and dry. She was the figurehead. She was getting paid out. She was supposed to get a percentage of this. This is all coming from her and her lawyer, basically, or her lawyer mainly. And that's basically all of what is officially being released. So she was the figurehead. She got paid for that. And she apparently didn't see it all, I guess. And the guys that was, heading all this were real shady the day they released. And she was basically supposed to be reading off of, and a lot of people do this with sponsors. You'll read off a bit of like a cue card, basically, but you put it in your own words. That's what you're supposed to do with sponsors and stuff, because you don't want to be like everybody else. And you see it on TikTok a lot, really. It's where people will say the same beginning, middle, end of something, and then they'll just go on to the product line. And then when you do it on YouTube, you usually say, I'm doing this VPN. And then you start talking about what you try to relate to your community in a way that you always talk to them, so it feels more grounded. That's what she was supposed to be doing with this crypto coin. Failed, obviously. And then I remember I would say that it felt like she was being told, we boo-booed. You're going to have to shut this off. We're going down territory I can't answer questions on, which pretty much has been stated that, she was going off this script and was told, hey, we got to shut it down, essentially, which is something I was thinking was going on anyway. But yeah, guys, that's about all I got to say. Y'all have a good one.